Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Momentum Charting. Today we are going to be going back into Gamestop, but before we do that, if you do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and if you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. All three of those let YouTube know that you enjoy the content and gives other people a chance to see the video as well. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the chart of GameStop. I believe the last update I did was just about 2 days ago now. Not a whole heck of a lot has changed. We've got this very large sideways channel that's developed with prices squeezed between around 350 and 138 or so. So it's a very wide channel just because of the crazy price action earlier this year. But nonetheless, for now, GameStop is pinned within this sideways channel, and what we are looking for are opportunities to play GameStop at a minimum back to the top of this this channel. That's really what we're looking for and what I'm going to be looking for over the coming days and weeks. So inside this larger channel we have a smaller time frame, maybe even an intermediate term channel I would call this, that's developed with prices in a range of about $30, and we are currently working down inside this channel. It's what we pinpointed last time. Let's look at the 1 hour chart, and I believe our last update here was maybe even on the 6th. I forget exactly when it was, but prices came down here perfectly, tagged this lower trend line, and have just been working sideways since. So expectations, you know, something maybe working up to the top of this band or sideways and then perhaps coming back down here, but a slow working down of prices inside this short-term channel until finally we can get a breakout of this short-term channel and potentially allow prices in GameStop to head back towards the top of this channel around the $350 area. So that is what I'm looking for in GameStop. Whether that happens, the breakout happens within the next couple days or all the way at the bottom of this horizontal channel, or something sooner, we break out to the downside of this channel and head down immediately. All of those are in play, but we're just going to have to watch closely and see exactly what's going to happen here. If it does, GameStop does end up following this channel all the way to the bottom, that would be another month. June, let's see, July, August, September. Yeah, so that would be, you know, over 2 months of just choppy sideways price action. And this is one of the reasons I like the way I trade so much. I can just basically ignore all of this choppy sideways mess that's going on a daily basis inside GameStop and wait for the points of real opportunity. Why in the world would I get involved going long on GameStop right here when I can just ignore this price action? And well, I mean, yeah, okay, so if you really are convinced that prices are going to retrace all the way back up here, you know, buying at 185, not the worst thing in the world, but you know, there's always that outside chance that this channel and support breach to the downside. That's definitely not what I'm looking for. This zone of support looks very strong, but I like to put the most probable scenarios on my side, and I let the stocks talk to me, as I say often. And right now, GameStop is telling me stay out, do not get involved, wait for some confirmation of a breakout of this short-term trend line, and that's when your opportunities to go back long are going to be. So that's what I'm looking at in GameStop. Just quickly go back to the momentum, which I haven't showed yet, but I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Again, this is a momentum indicator that I really like to use on the 15-minute time frame for the daily charts, NASDAQ, Dow, etc., that have 8-hour time frames 5 days a week. So I like to use the 15-minute, and it looks to me like we are repeating something very, very similar, which is actually quite interesting. What happened here between April 12th, 21 and about May 15th, 16th, 21. You can see here we had this upward sloping trend line of our momentum, and interestingly enough, look where that point coincides with, which is between here and when we finally broke out of this down sloping resistance right here in GameStop. Finally on May 7th, between May 14th, May 17th, somewhere in there, we finally broke out, and that was when we started building this positive momentum above the zero line. I had a couple touch points, but you can see it just held nicely on this support trend line. And it looks to me like something very similar is happening here in GameStop, just working up nicely, slowly. So this would just coincide absolutely perfectly with our first initial, at least, breakout of that downward short-term channel. Sometime perhaps in early August, almost, it looks like, by what this momentum is showing. But maybe it messes around at these levels for a while and then takes off from here. But all of this appears to be history repeating, so to speak, and somewhere in here we take off, somewhere in here we take off, and take off nicely out of that downward sloping resistance and head all the way back up to these zones. So I am going to be a very interested buyer in GameStop at a breach of this downward resistance and a continued carry of this momentum to the upside above the zero line, and watching this potentially take off back to these levels here, 40, 50 and above. So that's what I'm looking for in GameStop. Everything looks very hopeful. Just patience is going to be the key, as always. We've got to let these trends develop. Stocks talk to you. GameStop is loud and clear on what it's trying to do and what it wants to do right now, and where the appropriate entries are going to be. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, again, please subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you very shortly in the next video. Until then, ciao.